Pucks down against the back wall, just outside of Kobe's reach. Shove it out to Lang. Lang dumps it in all the way to the goaltender. Picks it up, gives it to a defender. Defender sends it around, misses the wing. Ricky whips on it. Sends it deep. Line rotation for Team Philadelphia. Picked up at the blue line by Nichols. Oh my gosh, Nichols with a beautiful shot. Almost gets by the goaltender. Picked up by Lang. Back over to Nichols. Nichols shuffles it back over to Doc. Doc tried to send it on net. Fisher. Back out to Lang at the point. Lang dumps it in all the way to Doc. Doc great in the slot. Nichols turned and fired. Doc center pass, and then it gets all the way out. No icing. Lang sends it deep over to Fisher. Fisher taps it forward. Nichols back over. Sent back out. Ricky on the back check. Gets a skate on it. Ricky pushes it out. Now it's shuffled back up. Picked up by Nichols. Nichols back over to Ben. Ben takes a shot attempt. Goes to the backside of the net. All the way back up to Ricky at the point. Shuffled over to Doc. Right into the slot. Tried to pick up. Picked up by Haverford. Ricky reaches for it. Backhand. Justin kick save. Another kick save by Justin. Doc goes long over to Fisher. Ben across the blue line. Try to get around the defender. Circles back. Gets off his edge. Haverford cycles back behind the net. Back against the wall. Bops charge the blue line. Anyway to get there. Prudo out on the ice. Puck makes its way all the way back. Tobin sends it deep. Now it'll go into the protected netting. Down, Fisher, Prudo, Cusa out on the ice. Tobin retrieves it. Shuffled over to Bops. Bops over Prudo, taps it forward. Fisher on the forecheck. Prudo back over to help. Prudo. Prudo shuffles it back out to Tobin at the point. Tobin gets a shot attempt off. Goaltender knocks it down. Cusa retrieves, send it back out to Tobin again. Back over to Cusa. Trying to get it to Prudo. Prudo slap shot goes wide. Fisher. Back out to the neutral zone. Tobin loses an edge. Back over to Cusa. Cusa enters the zone. Gets a shot attempt off. Goaltender guides it to the wall. Prudo back over to help pick it up. Hawks gather into the neutral zone. Send it deep. Justin guides it. Picked up by Bart. Bart threw onto the ice. Prudo shuffles it back. Bops Luka back over. Peace picks it up. Lang goes long, and that'll be an icing call. Pucks one back, Lang gathers it. Goes behind the net, picks up, goes long, try to get it to Floating right now. Goaltender loses his stick. Back out to Bart. Bart pushes it forward. Back over to Kid. All the way around to the backside. Picked up by Tobin. And that goes into the protected netting.
I gotta tell you, I'm a family
Doc on the face-off.
Oh, yeah?
Ricky all the way back, sends it over to Tobin. Tobin gathers it, looks up the wall to Fisher. Ben gets it. Opposite side over to Doc. Tipped it forward. Doc maneuvers back around. Hepford picks it up between the legs. Ricky pushes it forward. Now it's back to the back. Shuffles it back up to Ben. Ben on the forecheck. That's down. Over to the sidewall. Thies sends it up. Picked up by Fisher. Fisher's got Peruto with him on the other side. Back end. Gets tangled up with the defender's skates. Peruto's back over. Looks. Sends it out to Bops at the point. Bops tried to take a shot. Peruto dumps it back down. Thies centers right into the slot. Thies is there. Oh my gosh. Thies' shot goes off the post. And knocked back down by the goaltender. Peruto, Fisher, Cusa, Bobst, and Thies. Puck's down, back over. Fisher gathers it. Hepford tries to send it deep, does get it to the backside. Back over to Bobst. Bobst shuffles it back over to Thies. Thies back over to Cusa. Cusa taps it forward over to Fisher. Fisher tried to draw across the line. Delayed offside. To Fisher. Fisher tried to draw across the line. Delayed offside. We call off. Bot charges out of the blue line, gets it, dumps it behind the net. Fisher back over, pick it up. Gets it back out to Thies at the point. Thies just outside the reach of Cusa. All the way to the back wall. Justin comes out of net, picked up by Thies, shuffles it over to Bobst. Bobst back over to Peruto. Peruto tries to clear the zone. Fisher sends it into the neutral zone. Sent all the way to the back. Picked up by Lang. Lang shuffles back over to Luca. Luca gets tangled. Kick back out to Luca. Luca. Bart keeps it in. Luca back over. Bart joins him. Out of it comes Bart. Bart shuffles it out to the point to Ricky. Ricky dodges through. Delayed offsides. All the way back, Ricky almost lost it. Fisher back over, looks, dumps it back up, and this Colin had it right in the slot. Back out to Lang. Tried to hit Colin on the opposite side. Colin gathers it. Doc looking. Loses it back out. Collins right in the slot. Scores! Nichols, after a shot by Ben, gets the rebound. Nichols slap shot, 5-hole for the first goal of the game.
Come from Arizona.
Back over to Fisher. Fisher gives it to Bobs. Bobs takes a shot at Bruto. Thought about it. Cusa back over to help. Cusa tabs it forward, looking. Turns, waits. Circles it back over to Bruto. Oh, tried to hit Cusa coming up the slot. Shot attempt. Goaltender gloves it down.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's just like you have an NHL either Florida or... Let's see, where do I want to go?
Back out to the point. Tobin dumps it in. Fisher back over, puts a hit on the guy right in its slot. Pluto is there. There's a high stick coming up on Haverford, number 95. Team Philly would be on a power play.
We got enough where it's full up on it.
Back over. Cusa pulls it back over to Bob. Centered over to Tobin. Nice kick save by the goaltender. Shot attempt by Fisher. Shuffled back over to Fisher. Fisher out to Tobin at the point. Tobin looking. Picks it up. Shuffles it back over to Tobin. Out to Cusa. And a score. I believe that was Peruto. After a Cusa shot, got knocked down. Maybe goaltender hit the first one and Peruto with the bounce. Bart, Kobe, Luca out on the ice. Bob sent it deep. Hawks knocked it down. Back over. Hawks picked it up. Send up, try to clear the zone. Bob's able to keep it in. Unable to do so. Luca is there. Back over. Luca just outside of his reach. Hawks send it in. Picked up by Peace. Knocks it down. Over to Lang. Lang. Over to Kobe. Kobe. Try to send it in. Picked up by Bart. Bart. It's a good shot attempt. Goaltender try to knock it down. Goes off the side post. Bart out to the point to Thies. Thies. Shot attempt. Goaltender. Offsetting penalties. Puck's back out. Peace. Shuffles it over. Back out him. Doc. Out to the point. Peace loses it into the neutral zone. Picked up by Lang. Opposite side over to Doc. Tap forward by Nichols. Haverford. Across the blue line. Good check by Nichols. Center pass gets all the way out to Lang. Lang out to Ben. Ben across the blue line. Loses the puck. Picked up by Haverford. Try to tap it forward. Sends it back around. Back over. Send it back up into the neutral zone. Peace knocks it down. Picked up by Doc. Doc. Try to back over to Nichols. Fisher. Shot attempt. Blocker side save. Picked up by Doc. Back all the way to Lang at the point. Lang. Shot attempt goes wide. Puck's knocked down. Haverford grabs it. .38 seconds left in the period. Haverford center pass. Doesn't get by Thies. Out to the back wall. 25 seconds. Lang back over. Pressure. Up centered. Picked up by Nichols. Quick fire. Good reaction by Justin to pad save that. Makes its way into the neutral zone. 6 seconds. And Justin knocks it down. Two seconds left. And that'll do it. Okay, so the end of one. Team Philly up 2-0 after goals by Nichols and Peruto. Hey, Dave. All set for the beginning of the second period. 2-0 Team Philadelphia. Bruto, Cusa, Fisher, Tobin, and Ricky, and Justin Adams. Fisher on the faceoff. Back up, sent over. Sent to the neutral zone. Ricky picks it up. Sent it back over. Ooh, almost got through. Picked up by Tobin. Hawks maneuver around, send it over to the sidewall. Shuffle back over to Cusa. Cusa's there. Dumps it into the neutral zone. Ooh, just outside the reach of Peruto. Peruto try to squeeze it through. Picked up by Hawks. Tobin on the back check. Back over to Ricky. Ricky Back over to Crudo. Crudo dumps it forward. Back over to Fisher. Fisher shuffles it back over to Cusa. Nice attempt. Back over to Fisher. Cusa pushes it forward, picked up by the Hawks. Hawks locked it up into the neutral zone. Back over to Tobin. Tobin shuffles it down. All the way to the back zone. Hawks gather. Sends it up. Line change for the Hawks. Ricky picks it up. Sends it up over to Doherty. Doc sends it deep. You're good. Sent back into the neutral zone. All the way back. Hawks dump it in.
Come on!
So it looks like Bob's going to be called for the roughing. Cross check. So Team Philly will be down a man. At the 15-15 mark, second period. Nichols, Dot, Peace, and Lang out on the ice. Pucks back down, makes its way into the neutral zone. Nichols back over, almost gets by with it. Sent deep. Picked back up. Nichols knocks it down. Pressure into the corner. Gathers it against the wall. Holds the puck. Gets tangled. Shuffle back down. Haverford comes into their zone. He shuffles it back against the wall. Takes a shot attempt. Doesn't get to Justin. Comes back out to the point. And Justin with the glove save. Back down, Ricky. Over, shuffles it over to opposite side. Picked up by Tobin. Tobin looks. Oh my gosh. I think it caught the goalie off guard.
Oh yeah. It's
Puck's down, back over. Haverford against the sidewall. Bart picks it up, sends it out, all the way down. Goaltender sends it up into the neutral zone. Gives it back out. Stick lift. Bart turns and fires deep. Tip, makes its way all the way back.
What room?
Bart's back over. And clears the zone again. 11 seconds left on Team Philadelphia's penalty. Goaltender sends it up into the neutral zone. Tobin's there, now picked up by Bart. Bart try to get over to Cusa. Even strength. Cusa knocks it down, sends it deep. Crudo in pursuit. Picked up by Cusa in the corner. Shuffled back out to Ricky at the point. Ricky tried to take a shot, goes off the defender's skate. Ricky into the neutral zone. Picked up by Cusa. Cusa gets a step. Looking. Nice blocker side save by the goaltender to the sidewall. Picked back up. Cusick centers it back over to Fisher. Try to get a shot off. Goes wide. Outford sent it into the neutral zone. Picked up by Tobin. Drops it in all the way to the back wall. Shuffles. Back over. Pick back up. Great turn of the goaltender. Makes it over to the sidewall. Ricky's there. Gets it into the neutral zone. Tobin went after it. Knocked down in front of the net. Justin escapes okay.
Yeah.
It's like a workout.
Nichols, Ben, Doc. One back over to Bops. Bops shuffles it into the neutral zone. Picked back up by Doc. Gets it through. He's looking for Fisher on the other side. Sends it deep into the corner. Ben tried to circle it back. It's knocked down by the defender. Doc is there. Picked up by Nichols. Nichols try to turn and fire. Back over to Doc. Over the opposite side to Bob. Just outside of his reach. Gets a shot attempt into the back to protect the netting. Back out. Fisher with the shot goes wide. Bradford gains his own. Shot attempt.
Come on, guys.
Justin tried to put a glove on it as it went to the side of the net. Pulled back out. Doherty tried to send it up the sidewall. Picked up by Haverford. Bops on a back check. Pulls it out to the side. Back out to the point. Sent back out to the point. Shot attempt. Justin tried to get back. Picked it up. Bart, Luca, Kobe. Pucks down. Ricky on the backside. Push it over. Back over to Lang. Lang over to Kobe. Kobe gets it back out to Bart. Bart has a step. Looks back. He's got Kobe cycling in the slot. Pick back up. Center pass makes its way out to Lang. Opposite side to Ricky. Ricky. Try to center pass. Gets knocked down in front. Center pass picked up by Luca. Luca's got Kobe going long. Kobe try to get a leg up. Good hustle by Kobe. Picked up. Back sidewall. Shot attempt. Ooh, grazes across the goaltender. Jumped his glove. Now makes its way out to the neutral zone. Goaltender knocks it down. And that should be an icing call. Fisher, Bruto, all the way to the back wall. Hadford gathers it at the sidewall. Lang battling. Pick back up. Oh, scores! Cusa picks the puck up and fires on net. Looked like it went through the 6-hole, just around the.
Go, guys. Pick it up.
Come on, Bob.
Pick it up.
Puck's down, back over. Hadford sends it up into the neutral zone, picked up by Ricky. Ricky
Objective.
clock never started. Referee might be making some adjustments.
Where's Johnny right now? Oh, he knows it. Come on, let's go, Hawks. Pick it up. The clock didn't start. It wasn't Let's not blame them.
So right now on the clock it's reading 10:36. Should read, there it is, 9:16. So I'll set it 9:16 again. Hawks gather, send back into the neutral zone. Bruto knocks it back down. Ricky's there, sends it opposite side. Fisher pressure onto the puck. Back over. Puck shuffle around the backside. Cusa back over to put pressure on. Pick back up. Hawks try to send it over. Ricky, light toss. Got Crudo on the other side. Hawks thought he was going to reach out back over to Cusa. Back feed over to Cusa, and that's into the protective netting. Doc, Nichols, Ben. Pucks down. Back over to Doc. Gets it on 6, takes a shot, knocked into the air. Ben back over. Lang takes a swipe at it, knocks it back over. Doc reaches for it for the goaltender to look on. Ooh, right into the slot. Nobody was there. Fisher tried to get it back. He's able to do so. Pick back up. Lang's there to try to hold it in. He does hold his own and actually pulls it out into the neutral zone. Slides it back out. Fisher loses an edge. Comes away with it. Gets back on the opposite side across the blue line. Right into the center slot. Goes all the way to the back wall. Lang sends it deep to the back wall again. Ricky splits 2 defenders. Sends it on net. Goaltender steers it over to the corner. Pick up a Nichols at the point. Shuffles it back over to Ricky. Ricky takes a shot, goes wide. Doc. Back to the point. Delang. Ricky. And good grab. Pucks down, set all the way to the opposite side. Bops comes off the blue line, knocks it back down, picked up by Bart. Bart looking, tried to backhand, back over to Kobe. Kobe, it's a nice shot attempt off. Back out point. Kobe takes a shot, gets knocked down in front. Hard against the wall. Picked back up by Luka. Luka moves it off the stick. Sidewall. Bart's there. Stumps it back. Hepford gets it. 6:29 left in the period. Tobin retrieves back. Backhand. No icing. Hepford tries to send it. Bart knocks it down. Sends it over to the back wall. Line change for Team Philadelphia. Tobin at the blue line. Pops on the back check. Turns the corner. And gets a shot attempt and goes into the protected netting. Fisher, Pruda, Cusa. Fisher pulls it back. Cusa gets a shot attempt off. Goaltender drops it down. Another shot attempt goes wide. Fisher's there. Looks. Sends it back out to Lang at the point. Ooh, redirect. Almost gets by the goaltender. Fisher. Push it through, back over. Oh my gosh. Cusa with a slow roll to Fisher. Almost got a stick on it. Cusa drops it over to Thies. Fisher looking. Puck was sitting right there. Back up to Fisher. Fisher. Over to Cusa. No icing. Tipped. Hawks pick it up. Back over. Fisher comes away with it. Ooh. At Cusa on the opposite side. Goes long. Cusa with forecheck pressure. Back over to Cusa. Cusa. Try to get back over. Shuffles it back over to Pruda. Shot attempt goes offside of the net. Thies drops it in. Thies charges off the blue line, holds it in the zone, out comes out. Back over to Fisher. Almost. put on the brakes, tried to get the goaltender to release to the opposite side, just couldn't keep the puck with him. Ben pucks into the neutral zone, whip on it in the neutral zone, picked up by Doc. Doc gets around a couple defenders, picked back up, gets all the way to the back line. Center pass, and Fisher coming right up the slot, picked back up Tobin. Back out to Nichols. Nichols gets a shot attempt off, knocked down by a defender. Tobin maintains it, drives it into the zone, checked against the board, picked up by Nichols. Nichols, shot attempt off the goaltender's shoulder into the back netting. Nichols, Doc, Fisher out on the ice. Ricky and Thies with him. Sorry, Tobin. Tobin on the back check, over, takes a swipe at it. Delayed offsides. It's Doc fed long, and the goaltender puts a glove on it. Back out, Doc, center pass. Gets all the way to the side wall. Nichols off the skate, picked up Nick Ricky in the neutral zone. Back over to Fisher. Ben looking. Centers it back out to Doc. Oh, Doc's shot just goes just wide of the net. Tobin. Boxed. Nichols then. Out. Nichols tried to knock it down. After gathers it into the neutral zone. Sends it back out. Tried to pull the trigger. Lost it. Bob shuffles it over to Thies. Into the neutral zone. Bob's looking. Tap forward. Doc all the way to the back wall. The forecheck. Center top tried to get over to Ben. Ben looking. Chucks it back over to Doc. Doc turns. Loses it. Bob's with a shot from the point, goes off the goaltender's glove into the back wall. Bob's again, center pass. Ben, trying to hold up. Thies dumps it in, delayed offsides, cleared. Got all the way along, Justin holds it up. Puck's all the way to the back wall, picked up by Ricky. Ricky shuffles it back over to Lang. Lang over to Kobe. Kobe tried to turn and send it out. Back over to Ricky. Tipped. Goaltender comes out of the net. Shuffles back opposite side. 26 seconds left in this period. Kobe against the side wall. Puck kept in by Lang. Lang turns, has an opportunity. Oh, backhand goes over top of the net. Nice move. Picked up by Kobe. Kobe tried to turn and backhand over to Luka. And Lang thought about it as he held it. So at the end of 2, Team Philadelphia 3, Hawks 0.
Oh, and then it works. Yeah. Just gotta watch it. That's good. All your comments get broadcasted.
Forever.
Hundreds? Or, I don't know.
Like, obviously, corner. It's corner, yes. It's not anymore. I know, I thought it was going to be like corner somewhere, but that's like, that's my imagination.
Start of third period. So Fisher, Cusick, Burrito, Thies, and Bobst. 17 minutes left in this game. 3-0 Team Philadelphia.
Come on, Hawks!
Picked up, one by Team Phillies, back over to Burrito. Burrito couldn't handle it. Bobst knocks it back down. All the way to the back wall. Goaltender knocks it down. After try to send it by, picked up by Thies. Opposite side, Bruto's there. And that goes into the bench. Back up. Cusick probably turn and fire. Goes wide. Penalty coming up on, I think, Team Philly. I think it's going to be on Peruto for a hold.
All right, come on, Hawks!
Barthel with Luca out on the ice to kill it off. Box back over, picked up by Luca, knocks it back into the neutral zone. Shuffle over. Send it deep. Piece racing. And a back check. Pick back up. Side wall. Hawks dump it back into the corner. Back out to the point. Over to the side wall. Center. Bart knocks it back down. Luca back over to try to pick it up. Penalty coming up on Team Philadelphia. I think it's going to be on Justin. Maybe. No. Nope. Bobst. All right, so down 2 men, 15-34. Bart, Tobin's there. Try to send it up. Hadford couldn't control the puck, makes it all the way back. Now having some more clock issues. I'm not sure if it's scorekeeper or the actual clock itself. Okay, that's right. Okay, all set. I think it's issues with the clock, not the scorekeeper itself. Bart, Thies, Tobin. One back over, Tobin gathers it, pulls it all the way back. Cycles it back out, tries to get into the neutral zone, picked up. Sent over to the side wall. 45 seconds left on the first penalty. Back out to the point. Shot attempt off the defender's stick to the back wall. Tobin's over there. Try to poke at it. Sent back over. Thies charging after it. 25 seconds. Right in the slot. Good defensive check by Bart. And that almost gets out of the zone. 9 seconds. Shot attempt. Kick save by Justin to the back wall. 5 seconds. 4. 3. Goes off Bart's. Cleared the first one. Pull it up. Pluto with a good hustle. Now it's picked up by Nichols. Nichols by himself across the blue line. Looks. Turns and fires. Doc out onto the ice. 14 seconds left. Over to Lang. Lang shuffles into the neutral zone. Opposite side. that's even strength. Doc, Nichols, Ben. Ben's over there. Knock it down. Back over to Doc. Picked up by the Hawks. Back over to Lang. Lang, backhand. Back over to Nichols. Sends it on the backside of the net. It looked like it was offsides, but no call. Picked up by the Hawks. Shot attempt. Goes wide of the net. Picked up by Lang. Shot, turn and fire, goes over top of Justin's head. Picked up by Ben. Ben just couldn't reach for it. Nichols straight at it forward. Back over to Ben. Over to Nichols. Nichols looking. Goes off the side of the net. Nichols shot it knocked it down. Lang. Sent deep. Back over to Ricky. And the net is off. Down, back over to the opposite side, up into the neutral zone. Tobin with a good stick. Hawks have to clear the zone. Justin releases, back over to Tobin. Shuffle back over to Bops. Bops over to Kobe. Kobe. Shuffle back over to Bart. Did a good job tapping opposite side. Bart turns, fires. Coming up. I believe it might be on Bart. I didn't see the call. Trip is the call. Team Philly down a man for the next 2 minutes at the 11:33 mark. Back over, Bobs tries to send up, clear the zone, unable to do so. Fisher knocks it down. Again, another clock issue.
So I don't want to be
Back over, Bob sends it long.
He's definitely less offended.
Some long, back over to Bob. Bob sends it deep again.
Oh, my bad. I'm drunk too. Sorry.
Pick back up over to Fisher. Fisher shuffles it back over to Tobin, who sends it long. 40 seconds left. Picked up. Akusa, oh my gosh.
I see.
Wow. A couple golden opportunities for Team Philly on a short hand. back over, checked into the wall. 12 seconds left. Back out to the point. Center. Out of the ring, 4 seconds. Doesn't make it to Justin. Sent all the way back. Goaltender knocks it back. Sends it all the way up. Fisher's there, knocks it back down. Cycles it back behind the net. Nichols over. Ben gathers it. Nichols loses it into the slot. Hawks pick it up. Shuffled over to the sidewall. Picked up on the lane. Shot attempt goes wide. 9 minutes left in the game. Pass to Ben sitting in the slot. Try to make a move around. Ace is there. Drops it in all the way to the back wall.
Nice. There you go.
Pick back up, Lang over. Drops it back down. Back over to Fisher. Back over to Doc. Doc makes a move. And scored. Doc with a nice feed to Nichols for his second goal of the game. So at the 8:16 mark left in the 14th, Philly up 4-0. Puck one back by Haverford. Luca, Kobe. Luca's there, knocks it down. Good pressure by Luca. Haverford sends it into the neutral zone, picked up by Ricky. Ricky over to Kobe. Rims it around the backside, picked up by Luca. Luca takes a swipe at it. Haverford picks it up. Luca's there. Back over to Kobe. Kobe back out to the point to Ricky. Redirect gets knocked down. Picked up by Ricky. Kobe turns and fires, whips on it, gets into the neutral zone. It's all the way back over to Tobin. Tobin. 7:24 left in the game. Goaltender knocks it down. Back over to Fisher. Fisher. Back in. Out to the point to Ricky. Ricky. Shot attempt. Goes off of goalie stick into the protective netting. Back out to Tobin at the point. Shuffles it back over to Fruto. Center pass at Cusick going up the slot. Missed him. Hawks send it deep. Tobin on the back check. Tap forward. Back over to Cusick. Cusick looking. Back over to Prudo. Prudo gains his own. Back in to the slot. Fisher makes a move. Center pass. And the goaltender puts a glove on it. Fisher try to set it forward. Back along the back wall. Bruto's back there to help him. Puck's tangled up. Still there. Hackford comes away with it. Dumps it in. Justin guides it to the back wall. Cusa comes away. Could be a 3-on-2 if we got the numbers. Oh, nice pass. Nice little saucer pass to Tobin. Tobin tried to turn and get a shot off. Back out to the slot. Back. Shuffle back over. Nichols. Pressure onto the puck. Picked up by Fisher. Ben sends it out to Tobin at the point. Back over to Ben. Jumps it over to Tobin. Goaltender reaches for it. Goes wide of the net. Cleared. Tobin. Over to Dot. Dot gains his own. Pulls it back through. Try to gather it back over to Nichols. Tobin dumps it back down over to Ben. Soft roll from Dot. Back out and pass. 418. Bart, Gobi, Luca, Bops, and Peace. Bops gains his zone by sending it deep. Picked up by Bart. Bart turns. Picked up by the Hawks. Hawks over center line. Now blue line. Picked up by Bart. Have numbers if they get it there. And that's an offsides. Pick back up, Peace, send it deep. Back along, Kobe's there, holds his own. 3:26 left in the third period. Haverford send it deep. Peace on a back check. Send it back over to Bops. Bops takes a whiff at it. Over to Gobi. Gobi. Hits Luca. Luca. Try to feed it over to Bart. It's a defender stick. Bart picks it back up. Oh my gosh, Bart turns and just narrowly misses the outside edge of the net. A good kick by Peace. Holds his own. Now it's a back out. Peace on the back check. Cusa. Shuffle it back over to Fruto. Back over to Peace. Move by Fruto. Fruto looking. Back over to Cusa. And scored. What a great combination. Crudo, little dancing, gets it over to Cusa, and Cusa backfills feed over to Fisher on the back door side for goal number 5. Backhand over to Cusa, tried to clear the zone, unable to do so. Abford picks it up. Takes it to center slot. Justin got a stick on it. Back over to Cusa. Cusa trying to split 2 defenders. Point blank shot by Fisher again after a feed from Cusa. Goaltender knocks it down. Sent to the back wall. Pick back up. Sent back over. Cusa drops it in. Goaltender knocks it down. Shuffles it back over. Back over to Doc. Doc. Back over to Fisher. Ben dumps it in. 1 minute left in the game. Nichols drops it in. Feeds it to Ben in the slot. Turns, fires. Goaltender knocks it down. Doc. Doc pops it side over to Lang.
Good, Joe. Go, buddy.
22 seconds left. Back over to Ricky. Ricky turns, holds it back up. Takes it back over to Lang. 9 seconds. It goes 2, 1, and that's it. So, Team Philadelphia comes away with the victory. First game of the day. There is another one later tonight at 7:40 against the Valley Forge Colonials, which will be game 2 of the AHF playoffs. So everybody stay tuned for that one. We'll see you tonight at 7:40.